The mountains rose before her like the backs of sleeping beasts. For 3 days, Nora had walked without rest, her feet bleeding, her throat raw from thirst. The forest behind her had grown quiet, too quiet, as though the trees themselves feared to follow her here. The path to the caves was older than memory, marked by stones carved with faces half swallowed by moss. Each face was the same, eyes hollow, mouths open in silent screams. By dusk, the wind changed. It carried with it the faint, dry scent of bone dust. The sky had turned the color of bruised fruit, purple and gold fading into black. And from the darkness ahead came whispers. They were not words at first, just the rustle of movement, the drag of something wet across stone. But as she drew closer, the sounds began to take shape, threading together like strands of a song. Bride of ash, bearer of light, leave this place. Nora clutched the golden comb at her waist. Its glow had dimmed to a faint ember. I can't, she whispered. He's still out there. The mountain mouth gaped before her, a wound in the earth, rimmed with roots and jagged teeth of stone. Cold air breathed from within, carrying the smell of decay and something older, something that remembered her. She stepped inside. The darkness swallowed her whole. Her bare feet brushed cold rock slick with water. The walls pulsed faintly, as though alive, veins of dim blue light running beneath their surface. The whispers grew louder, threading around her, tugging at her thoughts. She saw movement, shadows crawling along the walls, too fast to belong to men. Their shapes shifted, arms that bent backward, faces split too wide, eyes that gleamed like wet glass. Morawa's minions. They skittered along the edges of the light, their bodies half human, half beast, patches of fur clinging to gray skin, teeth gnashing from mouths that were once familiar. She recognized one, an old hunter from Okiri, now twisted into something monstrous. His gaze met hers for only a second before he vanished into the dark with a hiss. The cave seemed to breathe. Every heartbeat echoed against the stone, hers and another's. The drums. Soft, distant, as if buried deep in the earth. Thumb, thumb, thumb. The path forked ahead, and in the dim glow she saw carvings on the walls, stories of the old gods. One figure towered above the rest, wearing a mask carved from bone. Beneath it, others knelt, their faces melting into shadow. The mask of Morawa, she breathed. The second sacred relic. The air grew colder as she descended. Mist gathered at her ankles, and the walls began to drip with black liquid. The whispers turned cruel. You brought death to your people. You wear shame like a crown. You will never be free. She stumbled, her hands brushing the wall, and felt it move beneath her touch. The stone shivered like flesh. From the corner of her eye, she saw eyes opening in the rock, watching her. Then came the first strike. A clawed hand lashed from the dark, raking her arm. She cried out, spinning, catching the faint gleam of teeth. Another shape lunged, a man's torso fused with a hyena's jaw. Its laughter echoed down the corridor. Nora tore the golden comb from her waist. It blazed, just for a heartbeat, flooding the cave with gold light. The creatures shrieked, stumbling back. She swung it like a blade, its light searing their faces. But for every one that fell, 2 more emerged. She fought, breathless, desperate, her hands slick with blood. The comb's light dimmed with each swing until it was little more than a flicker. Her arms trembled. Her vision swam. Then the ground beneath her split. She fell, tumbling through darkness, stone and shadow blurring around her until she landed in a wide cavern, her body crashing against cold water. Silence. Only the sound of dripping from above. Nora rose slowly, coughing, her hair plastered to her face. The water shimmered faintly with light from somewhere unseen. And there, at the center of the pool, rested a pedestal of bone. Upon it lay the mask. It was beautiful and terrible all at once, carved from ivory and obsidian, adorned with feathers that moved though no wind touched them. Its eyes were hollow, but something burned deep within. She waded forward, drawn despite herself. As she reached for it, her reflection rippled in the water, her own scarred face gazing back, weary, afraid. Then, slowly, another face formed behind hers, Mora's, smiling. "Take it," he whispered. "Every mask hides truth. Every bride must wear her vows." Her hand trembled. "No. I know what you are." But the mask rose on its own, floating toward her like a living thing. It stopped inches from her face. "Don't," she whispered. And then it struck. It clamped against her skin with a sound like stone grinding bone. She screamed, clawing at it, but it would not come off. The mask pulsed, molten lines running across her flesh. She could feel it fusing, roots of bone digging into her jaw, her temples, her eyes. The world spun. Her scream echoed through the cavern, mixing with the whisper of 1,000 dead voices. "You are mine now." Mora's laughter filled the air, rolling like thunder through the caves. The walls shook, and fissures opened in the floor. Blue fire spilled from them, licking her feet. She stumbled backward, her reflection shattering across the water's surface. Through the pain, she saw visions, her village burning, faces melting into ash, the forest turning black. And among them all, Mora stood, wearing no mask at all, only her face, smiling back. The mask's eyes blazed. And then, silence. When the tremors stopped, the cave was still. Nora knelt in the center of the water, her body trembling. The mask now part of her, its edges fused seamlessly to her skin. Her breaths came ragged, distorted. The golden comb floated nearby, its glow dead. A faint breeze stirred. The voices that had haunted her now whispered from within the mask itself. "Bride of ruin, keeper of the veil." She raised her head slowly. Through the narrow slits of the mask, her eyes burned faintly gold. And somewhere deep in the dark, the drums began again. Thumb, thumb, thumb.